What's up guys, obviously it's Captain Obvious, and welcome to the Armory. In today's episode, I'll be covering the AK-74M and the M416. Both of these weapons are very good medium range rifles, and that's where I like to use them. That's where you guys should be using them as well. And I'll be able to give you guys some tips later on in this video as to how to use them in a lot of situations, and make sure you guys can use these two weapons to their fullest advantage. And now, before I get into the reviews, I'll tell you guys two things. One, make sure you thumbs this video up if you enjoy it. It helps out a lot. And this is the final episode of the assault rifle class. So whatever class you want me to do next, be it pistols, engineer, support, anything, let me know in the comment section. And now, I'm going to start by covering the AK-74M. To me, the AK-74M is one of those rifles we can only use it at medium range. Its rate of fire is too low for close range combat, and its vertical recoil is a little too high for longer range combat. So I like using it right at medium range, and I feel that's where it is best being used. Consistent with most of the other assault rifles, the damage is 25 to 18.4, with the drop off beginning at 8 meters and ending at 50 meters. In core mode, your shots to kill are 4 to 6, and in hardcore that drops down to 3 to 4. The rate of fire is on the slower side at 650 rounds per minute. That rate of fire is actually very good for a medium range rifle. It is very easy to burst fire with this weapon, and if you can burst fire at the right speed and getting 2 to 3 bullets off every burst, the rate of fire will stay consistent with your burst firing, and you can have a very accurate and controllable weapon. Suppressive effect is 7.0% and muzzle velocity is 600 meters per second. Maximum range is 900 meters, and that's a little bit lower than some of the other assault rifles, so that's why I like using this weapon more at medium range, because of that maximum range being a little bit lower, as is the muzzle velocity. The reload speeds are very good. At 2.20 seconds for a normal reload, you can have a very fast reload, and it's a lot faster than some of the other closer range and medium range assault rifles. Empty reload is on the slower side at 3.20, but that's really not that bad because you're using it at medium range, so your reload should not be affecting you too much. The threshold for the normal reload is 1.76, and it drops down to 2.56 seconds for an empty reload. The multiplier is 0.80. Now, as we take a closer look at the recoil patterns for this weapon, you'll notice that it is very heavy in the vertical side. Vertical recoil in the AK-74M is very present. Now, when looking at the horizontal recoils, you'll notice that it goes off to the right a little bit more than it does to the left. It has an unbalanced horizontal recoil, but it mainly goes to the right. So your recoil pattern is up and to the right for the AK-74M. The spread on this weapon is actually very average, and the ADS is a little bit higher than some of the other assault rifles, so aiming down your sight is a very good option on this rifle, even at close range. The magazine size is 30 rounds, but coupled with the lower rate of fire, you'll notice that you'll run out of magazines a whole lot slower than some of the other rifles. It's easier to conserve ammo with this weapon, and I highly recommend doing it because you can stay alive for a longer time and be more survivable when you have more ammo. I had designed two classes for use with this weapon, one for support and medium range combat, and the other one for more of a closer range aggressive playstyle. I highly recommend going with my support playstyle role class, and you see it being exemplified in this gameplay right now. So here's the aggressive playstyle class. I got some complaints in last episode about me recommending using a bipod on aggressive playstyle classes. I was completely okay with that, so I'm going to be recommending the underslung rail or the foregrip where it may apply. But the Cobra and the flash suppressor are the best attachments for this weapon because of the open sight picture in the Cobra, and the fact that the flash suppressor lowers that vertical recoil just the tiniest bit to allow you to be able to focus more on shooting your enemy and less on the recoil. Now, out of all the class setups that I have ever recommended, this one is definitely my favorite, and it's very fun to use. The PKA scope is actually very awesome for this weapon because it allows for easy target accusation. The bipod is good to lower that vertical recoil and keep the aimed accuracy very high for more medium range, long range combat. The heavy barrel is there to increase your accuracy just the tiniest bit more to make it even more effective at medium to long range. It's a great class, and I highly recommend using this class when using the AK-74M in a medium range support role. The AK-74M is probably one of the best medium range assault rifles in this game. With a lower rate of fire than most of the other assault rifles and a very controllable recoil if you know how to burst fire, the AK-74M can be effectively used out to medium long range. Using the setup that I recommended to you with the PKA scope is very important because of that easy target accusation and increased zoom. Accuracy is very important on this weapon because you are using at medium range, and you have to make sure that all of your shots count at that range. Now, I'm going to move on to covering the M416. The M416 is the cookie cutter weapon. It is good in all situations. It is not excelling in any of them at all. It is only good. It was only good at long range, only good at close range, and only good at medium range. The lower rate of fire coupled with the very, very controllable recoil makes this gun very, very good at most ranges, but you have to remember that this weapon is not suited for anything in particular. It's just good at all of them. The damage is 25 to 18.4 with a drop-off beginning at 8 meters and ending at 50 meters. Shots to kill in core mode are 4 to 6, and in hardcore mode that drops down to 3 to 4 shots to kill. The rate of fire is right in the middle of the pack, not as high as the FAMAS and not as low as the AK-74M or L85A2. This rate of fire means you can use it in pretty much all situations. You can hold down the trigger at longer range if you need to, and it's actually very, very viable in closer range. Suppressive effect is 7.0% and muzzle velocity is 600 meters per second. Maximum range is 900 meters. All these values are pretty average in the assault rifle class. One of the main benefits of using the M416 is the fact that you get a very fast reload. Normal reload is 1.90 seconds, which is exactly the same as the M16A3 and 4, making it the fastest in the assault rifle class. The empty reload is a little bit slower at 2.50 seconds, but still, that is a very fast reload. Threshold is 1.425 and 1.875 seconds respectively. Multiplier is 0.75. The M416 has very predictable recoil patterns. As a matter of fact, it is almost exactly the same as the AK-74M. The left value for horizontal recoil is pretty much non-existent, so you'll rarely see it go left. The right recoil pattern, however, is very, very high, so it'll go up and to the right pretty much 100% of the time. This makes the M416 have very predictable recoil, making burst fire a very viable option on this weapon, and as a matter of fact, it is very easy to do, so I recommend burst firing at medium to long range with this rifle because of the predictable recoil. The M416 has good spread values, making it pretty viable at medium to longer range if you can control that spread. The magazine size is 30 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. Now let's move on to talk about some recommended class setups for the M416. For the aggressive playstyle class, I like going with the Cobra sight, foregrip, and suppressor. The Cobra is good on this weapon for easy target accusation, like it is on pretty much every other weapon. The foregrip is actually very, very good on this weapon. Because of the increased horizontal recoil to the right, you want to try to keep that down. The suppressor will also lessen the effects that it has on your accuracy. So using the suppressor coupled with the foregrip, you will have more of a acceptable accuracy. You'll lower the vertical recoil with the suppressor and keep the horizontal recoil down with the foregrip, making this a very, very good aggressive playstyle class, and I recommend using it a lot. For the first time ever, I really don't have a good recommendation for the support playstyle class for the M416. I don't know what to choose for your optic, and it really is up to you. I think you guys should be able to choose what optic you want to use on this rifle because honestly, I think just using the Cobra sight is good for pretty much all situations. The heavy barrel is pretty much best used in long range because of the increased accuracy. The bipod will increase your spread and decrease your vertical recoil and horizontal recoil as well. But this is a good class, especially with the bipod and heavy barrel. The optic, however, is pretty much just up to you guys, and choose well because it'll help out a lot. If you want a good cookie cutter weapon that you can use in pretty much all situations, the M416 is your best bet. Like most of the other assault rifles, it suffers a lot while firing on the move, so you have to be staying still if you want to get good accurate fire out to long range. I recommend using this rifle as a very aggressive playstyle. It is great when deployed that way, and I had a lot of success doing it. If you want to be good in all situations, this is the gun for you, but if you really want to stick to one playstyle, I highly recommend against using this rifle. The reason for that is because, like I said in the beginning, it is not good at one particular fashion. It is only good pretty much in all situations. You have to be able to use a more effective weapon in those more specialist roles, like the FAMAS for close range, the AN-94 for longer range. This weapon is good in all of them, but it does not excel in any of them, so you have to choose your right weapon for your specialized playstyle. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Armory, and like I said in the beginning of this video, this is the final assault rifle video. I have covered every single assault rifle up to this point. And don't worry, once the new expansions come out, I'll be covering those assault rifles as well. Remember to tell me down in the comment section what class you want me to do next, be it support, engineer, PDWs, pistols, shotguns, whatever you want me to do. Let me know. I would not be doing explosives in this series, just to let you guys know. There are Twitter and Facebook links down in the description. And as always, rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys later. And now, just in case you guys missed it, here is yesterday's video. What I talked about in this video was the upcoming DLC and stuff that has been rumored for Battlefield 3. Twitter, Facebook, and if you guys have yet to, make sure you subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later.